Sweetie Pie, and welcome back. Ooh, look at those hands. I did a self-tan and I forgot to wash my hands. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is the first time you have laid eyes on me. Hi, my name is Sweetie Pie, aka Melissa, on this channel, and subscribe if you enjoy makeup content, some jokes, some laughs, some here, some there, some medium quality content, and yeah, all that good stuff. So I thought today we would sit down and we would play with the Naked Wild West, okay? I've played with this twice already, and I have some thoughts about Urban Decay. This is Urban Decay is one of the weirdest brands ever with their palettes, okay? So I have two other Naked palettes here. I do not have the originals. I was not in the game like that early. That early, I was not using Urban Decay eyeshadows. Are you kidding me? So I have Naked Heat. Love this palette. I really like this palette. I know it's like monochromatic and there isn't much to it, but it's so, so, so pretty. But I'm going to mention something. Does anyone see this shade here? Okay, this is the shade Ounce. Now this actually has quite a lot of shimmeriness to it, and I freaking hate when Urban Decay does this. Again, here is the Naked Ultraviolet. Didn't love this palette. This is not one of my favorite palettes in the world. But then they have Trip in here. Again, it's like one of those whites with like shimmer in it. What the flip? Again, here we are. Who would have thought, right? This is the Naked Wild West. We have Standoff. I'm telling you right now, guys, every single one of these is exactly the same shade. And I freaking hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. It makes my eyes look old. It makes my eyes look old. And that's the facts. So I'm literally going to swatch all of these for you. Every single one is the same, like all the way through. Like, weirdly enough, the one from the Ultraviolet seems more pigmented than the rest of them, but they've all got a weird amount of like shimmeriness to them. And if you have older lids, like I'm 30 years old, if you have older lids, it's not going to look good. So that, a point off for that in itself. We're going to do a look today. I'm going to do some swatches with this palette, and you know, we'll talk a little bit about like how much it was, you know, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get into that. Let's start off with the look, and I'm excited because there are some shades in here that are really pretty. So yeah, let's get into that. Let's get all right, guys. So you're a little closer to me now, and I'm just closing up these other palettes. So this is what we've got for the palette here. This is so cool looking. It's like snakeskin, although I think they could have made it a little bit more like you know, I don't know. It's cool though. It's definitely got the same kind of vibes as the rest of them do. I think Naked Heat's probably my favorite one actually. But anyway, inside you have 12 shades? Yes, I think 12 shades. Inside you have 12 shades, all at 0.95 gram per 0.95 grams, almost a full gram per eyeshadow. And you have two, like I would consider these to be really like almost glittery metallics, whereas Bud and Rustler are more like, not shimmers, they're more like smooth metallic shades. Oops, sorry about that. They're more like smooth metallic shades. I will say there are a lot more mattes in here than there were in the Ultraviolet. I'm so happy about that. And the mattes they picked are actually quite pretty. Today, I think we should do like kind of a, I I want to mix the cool tones and the warm tones. Maybe we'll do like a cool tone on the lid and warm tones in the crease, because there's some really pretty warm tones in here. So I literally already primed my eye, and I'm gonna go in with a medium blending brush, if I can find one that's not dirty. Here we go. Let's do this one. This is an old ColourPop blending brush. And the first shade I'm going to go into Nudie, which is that little more like cooler toned transition shade. That's pretty pigmented. I really like that. And I'm just kind of working that all the way around the crease, kind of washing it up to the brow bone. You know the drill. And I did notice these shadows blend really nicely. They are really nice Urban Decay quality. Like, I didn't love the ultraviolet. It was not the same kind of, I don't know, more blendable eyeshadow. Just trying to figure out what I want to do here. All right, I want to use that Bud shade, but I'm trying to figure out how I want to use that shade. I think we might go like right on the inner corner of the eye with that Bud shade, and then use Cowboy Rick all in the inner corner, and then work some of these really pretty brownie shades. So first one I'm going to go into is Ghost Town, which is this really beautiful red toned, really pigmented. I'm going to work that into the outer corner. And then I just took some more Nudie to just kind of blend that out a little bit. And I really like how buildable these are. Like, I loved the Kaleidos eyeshadows. They are so easily buildable. And that is such a difficult thing sometimes, where you could literally use it for like a one shadow look. And I'm kind of just smudging this out a little bit. We're gonna go for like a really nice natural kind of less structured look today. So I'm really bringing that, going into that Nudie shade, exactly the same brush, and just kind of touching it underneath the eye as well, which I will clean up afterwards. All right, now I'm going to go into that deepest shade, which is Whiskey, and I'm just going to tap it right on the outer edge. That's pretty. And just because I know that's probably bugging everyone, including myself, I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit. Just like that. All right, now we're gonna get to the fun part. I'm excited to see what this turquoise is gonna look like on the lid. Honestly, I'm just gonna use my fingers, guys. We'll go in first with just my finger, and then we'll see if it needs some wetting. Okay, so this is it. No wetting, no nothing. Now, because I cannot help myself, ooh, that is very pretty. Then I want to take Cowboy Rick, which is that really metallic-y one, and I'm gonna take it, I know, oh my god, on a sponge tip. So I've got my little spongy tipped applicator, and I'm just going to wet that down a little bit. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Okay, they did get it right with this shade. It is a really pretty shimmery shade. Although I will say I think you will need to wet this because it is flaky. You know what? I'm just curious. Yeah, a finger is just the best tool, man. Now, funny enough, comparing these to like the Kaleidos shadows, honestly, there is a big difference. These are just a little less unique. They're a little less pigmented, special. Still love that shade a lot though. Like, I just dragged that shade all over the inner corner because it is so pretty. A little bit of fallout from that shade. Nothing that can't be whisked away though. All right. Now I'm debating taking that really dark teal. I'm gonna get, this is a Kat Von KVD 75 brush. It's the one that has like the little dents in it. And I'm gonna tuck Tex right under the lash line. Alright guys, I'm just gonna throw on some mascara, but this is what I've got. Be back in a minute. Alright guys, I just threw on some mascara. Let me get a little closer for you guys. So this is the end result. This is the look. How pretty is this? Like, this is quite pretty, and it did blend quite well. I could have even maybe used that standoff shade on the, like, you know, on the brow bone. I don't really do that often, so not really something I do, but it is beautiful. It is really pretty. I did create such a pretty look with this, and I'm actually really excited to use Larido, I don't know, and Pony Up, which are these really dark gray kind of tones. So let's go ahead and do some swatches. Guys, so let's do some swatches because this is still a really pretty color story. So the first shade, as I already showed you guys, is Standoff. And I'm gonna start up higher. And it is your standard, like that shade that they put in every freaking palette. It has a tiny little bit of shimmer to it. God knows why. I don't know why they do that. Look a little dark over here. This is my second look of the day. All right, the next one we have is Spur, which is like a peachy, it's like a peachy orange. I see why they put this in there because this goes really well with Ghost Town, but so does Nudie, which is your little bit more cool toned transition shade. Their mattes are really well placed for someone of like medium to light skin tone. There's lots of like transition-y shades and then darkening up shades. I think it is a well-adjusted like palette. Then you have the two like special shades that I would call in this palette. They're a little more chunky, glittery, really high shine. First you have Hold'em, which is your goldy bronze, I'd say. And then you have my favorite, probably one of my favorite shadows in the palette, which is this Cowboy Rick. And it's kind of a little bit duochrome-y, kind of like on the gray side, maybe even a little bit like purpley maybe, and it's what's in my inner corner today. So yeah, then we have another matte. This is the first like cool tone matte, Larido, I have no idea, people. And that is Larido. Then we have the two metallics in the palette. And I would definitely say this is more of their like smoother metallic formula, whereas Hold'em and Cowboy Rick are more on the chunky side. So this is that Bud Turquoise. Really pretty there. And then we have this really pretty rusty bronze that is called Rustler. All right, and then we have the four darkening up mattes that we have left in this palette. First, we have Ghost Town, which is probably, sadly and silly enough, probably my favorite matte in the palette. It's this warm, beautiful, like brown shade. Ugh, it's so pretty though, so pretty. And then you have a cooler toned dark brown called Whiskey. And then you have this turquoise deep matte called Tex. So pretty, so pretty. Oh my gosh. I love this shade. I did a look with it. It was very nice. Look at how deep and pigmented that is. Such a pretty shade. And then you have the deep purpley gray tone at the end called Pony. right, guys, those are the swatches. Now, this palette, I think, was pretty much the same as, yes, $68, which is around the same price as all of their other palettes. It's expensive. Clearly. If you really love the tones in this palette, I think that they work really well. I didn't have any problems blending really. They weren't patchy. The deepest turquoise shade, there was a little bit of like skipping, but I have 30-year-old lids, so I attribute it a lot to that. It was a nice palette. I liked it a heck of a lot more than I like this ultraviolet. This ultraviolet I honestly should have freaking returned. I haven't used it since I reviewed it, which is sad. I really should pull out my Naked palettes and kind of interchangeably use them and see how that works out, because there are some eyeshadows in here that are pretty. It's just like, who puts 3 mattes in a palette of 12 eyeshadows and all of these dark shimmers? Like, what in the flip? What in the flip? Anyway, this one is definitely an approved palette from me. I do like it. I think that the mattes are really pretty, and I'm so happy they picked more than 3 of them. I think that this was a super flop, honestly. This was a super flop. And I am much happier with this one. And yeah, I think that you guys, and they say that it's a vegan formula now as well. Is that new? Anybody let me know. Is that a new thing? Or are they just going vegan now? I didn't know about that. Anyway, love you guys so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, I hope you guys subscribe, all that good stuff. You know the drill. Like this video because that helps me out as well. We are on the train to 600 subscribers. Yes, we are. Mwah. I love you guys so much. Bye, guys.